Revelation 2043. From the 26th of August 1941. Abuse of the power of the strongest. Lovelessness. The spirit of discord dominates the world, and this spirit can produce nothing but discord and unkindness again. Love will never be able to develop where people meet without love. On the other hand, hatred and vengefulness will blossom to the highest degree. And this means ever greater destruction of what is the possession of the other. It also means that the human being's spiritual development, which is the purpose and goal of earthly life, will decline more and more, that he will sink deeper and deeper and finally leave the world in a state which can almost be called almost more immature than at the beginning of his embodiment on earth. For unkindness is the opposite of that which leads upwards. Mankind is caught up in a terrible delusion. It believes itself called to suppress or completely exterminate the weak and sees this as the right of the strongest. She rages against the divine order, which associates the weak with the strong, so that the latter may test itself against it, but in a different way than she does. For the strong shall be the giver and provide for him who is weak and in need of help. He shall stand by him in his need and weakness. The strong shall not abuse his power and strength to oppress the weaker, but shall protect them from oppression. But where there is unkindness, the divine order is no longer respected. Everyone only loves himself. He seeks to increase his own well-being and to enrich himself with the possessions of the weak who cannot offer him enough resistance. And this state of affairs is intolerable in the long run, for it always has a destructive effect but never a constructive one, just as everything that is directed against divine order means ruin. It is true that a constant struggle can be observed in nature, which always results in an increase in the strength of the stronger. This struggle certainly leads to the perpetual transformation of the external form of the beingness, but then it is God-willed, because God himself directs the will of the creature and every process is necessary for the higher development of the spiritual in every form. But the human being has overcome all these forms and during his earthly life he was given free will which he is now to use for the soul's higher development. He should fight, but only against himself and the evil instincts in him. He should strive for the good, the noble and try to overcome everything lowly, and this is constant fighting. And he should help his fellow human being in this fight against himself. And thus the human being must suppress every desire, he must learn to despise what the world presents to him as desirable so that he does not seek to increase his possessions but gladly and joyfully gives them away. If he does this, then he will soon be able to cast off his earthly fetters and enter the kingdom of light unencumbered. But what goals is the human being pursuing at this time? All thought and striving is only directed towards the increase of earthly good. He wants to possess when he should be divesting himself. He clings tenaciously to earthly possessions and also tries to attain them illegitimately, as soon as he takes advantage of his fellow human being's weakness and overcomes him by virtue of his strength. And this is the consequence of unkindness, which is particularly evident in humanity now and which is the cause of unspeakable suffering, for love can only be reawakened through this. Amen.